Bon dia, good morning lovely people. It is a wonderful day here because it is nice and cold. Apparently it's only going to get to 25 degrees today, which feels unreal after the weather we've been having, so it feels like a big sigh of relief. August has felt like quite a chaotic month. We've just had this big heat wave pretty much the whole month of it being never really getting below 37. Then we had the big fires, then I got sick. Now Iwan's back has gone, which normally happens after the grape harvest. It's an old injury that he has, so it has been an intense month, but it feels like today with this cooler weather things are finally calming down. And I've just come down into the garden to do a bit of harvesting, and it's pretty chaotic down here. Things have gotten a bit wild, understandably. We've had a lot going on, but I'm hoping that today I'm going to get more than the usual hour before it gets too hot to tidy it all up. Our chicken Joao, who I've just spotted is already down here with me, is coming down and scratching up a lot of things. We need to fence off the garden, but the ground is so hard and baked from the summer. We need to wait for the rains to arrive before we can do that, and there's currently none on the forecast. It does normally rain in the beginning of September, but we shall see. It's a kingfisher about. I am feeling loads better. Thank you for all your kind comments and well wishes on our last video. It was Saturday that our video comes out, and that's the day I started feeling better, so I think your good energy came through to help me feel better. I'm still a little bit croaky, but feeling loads better. I'm going to get started on these raised beds. I'm just watching Joelle already scratching up. We've put down cardboard in the pathways, and our plan is to put wood chip on once we're out of the fire ban and we can use our wood chipper again. Should be in a couple of weeks hopefully, but Joelle has come and scratched up all the cardboard, so it's all just very messy, so hopefully today that's going to change. And I feel enormous. I don't think you can see my bump quite yet, but none of my clothes really fit anymore. Just going to try and get as many of these cherry tomatoes as possible and then tidy up this plant a bit.
I just want to go out and walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just want to go out and walk with you. I just want to see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just want to see your shadow next to mine. I just want to see the same things you can see, understand the meaning on a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just want to see the same things you can see.
I wish you could smell this basil. I'm going to dry it. That was quite the battle, but I don't think I've ever picked so many tomatoes in one go. There's a few green ones that will ripen, and then this basil I will dry. Oh, what an amazing crazy bed. This is the bed I really wanted to get to today, because Joelle actually got in and scratched around in here, and we have all our melons in here, and I don't think they're going to flower anymore, so I'm going to cut off all the excess growth and then it can concentrate on the few melons that are left. Where have I put my clippers? I don't understand why we bought green garden clippers, because I can never find them. I need some like bright pink ones. the watermelon is growing from. Be careful not to damage it. Move you. Oh. I don't think this is going to turn into anything. I just pulled it up by accident, so. So these beans probably would have continued to produce into the autumn, but we're just not really enjoying eating them anymore. I think sometimes you're just kind of over a plant, so I wanted to clear here so I can plant some carrots in here, and it just feels like there's a lot more breathing room. It was a very big plant. I think I'm also going to pull up this cucumber. We have a lot of cucumber plants. I've eaten a lot of cucumbers and most of them are bitter, so I'm gonna be savage and pull this one too. Lots of little ones we can pickle. Then I think it's time for second breakfast. So this rocket is all flowering, so I'm just gonna chop it to get rid of the flowers and hopefully it'll continue to produce a bit more. Flowers are so lovely. The bees love them, so I will let it go if it goes again. But you can eat these, put them in the salad. They're delicious. So last week Iwan made me, well, he made for us, but I drank it all, some grape juice, and I want to try and make some more this week. And there's a lot of grapes on the floor here. It's kind of a wild vine. It's been a very good grape year. Last year we had none. Looks good on this side. A little bit manky on this side. Choop, choop, choop.
I'm hushing the dog on the chain. I'm running up stones on the edge of the bank. Rally the troops for another refrain. I sing this softly to myself. I sing this softly to myself. I'm buried beneath the sand. There's no way to speak or reach out my hand. Watching the paper slowly unfold. Bracing for news that I can't bear to hold. While I'm singing this song to myself. I sing this softly to myself. Tore up my jeans on the fence. This iron road I cannot bend, but my walking is lighter when I walk with a friend. I sing this softly to myself. I sing this softly to myself. I'm waking up early
Good morning, guys. We have another quite nice cool morning. The air is nice and cool even though the sun is out. I think it's going to get a bit warmer today though, maybe like 29, 30, but we'll see what we can get done. We did have a physio session booked for Iwan for his back, but she's said that he probably needs rest first to be in less pain before they can do anything, so he's under strict rest. But I'm here under our beautiful, very leaning cork oak. There's lots of leaves and dry grass on the ground here, and I've been thinking about my veggie garden because I'm cool like that, and that's what I spend my time thinking about. As we're moving into a new season, I can start autumn planting. I think I'm going to do quite a small garden because I don't know how well I'm going to be able to look after it, because we have a big unknown on the horizon of what our life's going to look like in a few months. With Joao still being able to get into it, I don't want to plant any seedlings, so until we fence it off, I'm not going to sow anything. As I was working on the beds yesterday, I saw that a lot of the beds need a lot of compost to bulk them up. So I thought what I would do is just fill the beds with lots of material like this grass and leaves. Just fill them up as much as I can and let that rot down over the winter, so that when spring comes along I'll have a really nice garden to work with. There is rain forecast for Sunday. I'll believe it when I see it, but if it does rain then we'll be able to chip the wood for the paths as well, so that'll be really good. Hopefully Jan will be feeling better by then. He's already noticing improvements, so things are looking good. I can definitely feel the season is starting to shift. Anyway, I need to find my rake and a bucket and a wheelbarrow. Oh, it's definitely already a bit warm. Should have got started earlier this morning. We are in a funny situation with chickens at the moment. We've lost 3, I think, over the summer. They just died. There's sudden death syndrome. We're trying to figure out why. They were perfectly fine and then the next day they died. I don't know if the heat has had an impact this year. It's been pretty sad losing them, and we are actually down to just 1 chicken. We had 2, Joao and Wataru's the white one, and yeah, Wataru, we think hers was definitely sudden death syndrome because she was absolutely fine, and then we just heard a noise and she was upside down on her back flapping and then just died. And she showed no other symptoms of anything else. So we were concerned having just 2 because they do say a chicken on their own is not good for them. So when we ended up with just Joelle, it was still in the midst of this big heat wave. So we were like, we don't want to buy a couple of new chickens because it doesn't feel like a very good environment to be introducing chickens into, because we'd have to keep them in the coop and it's just so hot that we didn't want to do that. So the only other option we would have had was to give her to some friends to integrate into their coop so that she wasn't alone, which with any other chicken I probably would have done. But Joelle is a special chicken because she has always been a bit of a loner and she's always been bottom of the pecking order. She is the only black hen we've ever bought, and we bought her because she had escaped from the cages in the agricultural shop and we just thought she was funny and must have a bit of a character, so we decided to buy her, which was probably a bad way to choose a chicken because she has been a bit of an escape artist ever since. All the other chickens used to all hang out together and she would always be on her own, and I just think she is a loner chicken and we're keeping an eye on her. We've googled any symptoms for when chickens aren't happy on their own and she's not showing any of them. She's laying every day, she's scratching around. We're leaving her just absolutely free range so she can be as happy as possible, and she interacts with the cats and the dogs and she's a lot more friendly with us as well. So I don't know if she just feels like she has company. So yeah, it's quite funny. We just have 1 chicken at the moment, which isn't advised, but she just seems really happy. She's always like, her feathers are always come out from, I think it's from being bottom of the pack, and the other hens were always pulling her feathers off, so she's actually looking healthier. She's still a bit scraggly. And now we don't know what to do because we want to keep our lives very simple for the next 6 months, and we have thought about getting another chicken for her, but then I worry that she might not like it, or they might not get along, so we're undecided as to what to do. And she is destroying my garden. She's not destroying it, she's just causing a lot of mess. I feel like, seeing as she's on her own, I don't want to stop her until we can just fence it off from her. If anyone else has ever had a solo chicken, please let us know how it went, or if you had one and you noticed them being unhappy, what were the things that were the red flags for that. And I have read of people keeping a solo chicken, but it was the chicken very much became integrated into the family, would hang out in the kitchen with them. I think they get lonely, but their loneliness can be solved with other species. And yeah, when it was really hot under the cabin deck, when I would call for her, she would come running out, and so would a couple of the cats. So I think she hangs out with the cats, and then she chases Frankie and Diogo. And what do you think, Chuk Chuk? Right, well, the beds are starting to look a lot better in terms of being ready for a new season. I cannot wait to get the wood chip down here. I think it's going to really make it feel really nice. We still have an abundance of tomatoes. The peppers are still growing. We've got some yellow sort of French beans. There's still lots of melons about that we're just waiting for them to get bigger. and some aubergines, and then the courgettes have struggled a bit this year. I think this bed doesn't get the sprinkler quite enough, but I think the courgettes are going to really come back to life the next couple of months when it rains, and we've still been getting a few from them, just normally inundated with courgettes, so we've just been having a few little ones. So I'll add some straw to this bed, I think, for them. Anyway, I'm rambling because it's warm and I'm happy sitting here in the shade, but I am going to collect some of the dry grass from around here to put in here. This video is kindly sponsored by Squarespace. The last few years I've been building an online space to share my artwork in a simple, beautiful way, and for this I've been using Squarespace to create my website and print shop Calm Lines. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform that makes setting up an online shop effortless. I can easily upload new prints, customize how they're displayed, and create a shop that feels calm and easy to navigate. Their design intelligence is a brilliant tool that combines 20 years of design expertise with AI to instantly create a layout tailored to you. You just answer a few simple questions about your style, goals, and the feel you want for your site. You can then customize everything further, tweaking fonts, colors, and layout until it feels like it fits you. So whether you're starting your first creative project or growing an existing business, head to squarespace.com/FrankieOffGrid for a free trial and save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain using our code FrankieOffGrid. You'll find a link in the description below, and a big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Right, it's time to chop up this beast. What I usually do is slice it up and put it in the fridge so it's nice and cold and refreshing. We've got a few days now where it's going to be a bit hotter. Let's weigh it. Just over 5 kilos, 5,000 grams. Ooh, split. What a beauty. I think it will take about 10 seconds before she's already moving at my feet because she loves melon. I'm stuck. Would you like some? You can have the skin. still can't get over that this grows in our garden. So magical. If you ever want to feel like your life is abundant and full of like more than you need, grow watermelons, because they won't even all fit in our fridge. Or on this tiny plate I picked up. So these are the tomatoes and chilies that Iwan sun-dried a few days ago, or put them in the sun-dryer a few days ago, and now they're all dry. These sun-dried tomatoes are so delicious. Need to sort out the chilies from them. So I'm going to do some more to put in the sun-dryer, because I still have from previous harvest all of these tomatoes, so I'm going to process them, because now we have all of these tomatoes. So abundance is just basically growing a garden. This one doesn't look very good. Okay, next I am going to make a courgette cake, because we have a few in the fridge that need using, and I think you're a bit wonky, sorry. I don't know. And I'm going to do it in the air fryer, because the oven hugely heats up the room, which we don't want when it's still hot. But because it's not so hot, we're not pumping out the aircon, which means I have enough electricity to run the air fryer to make cake. So feels like a good job to do today. It's funny, the things you have to think about being off grid is you just have to choose the days for certain things. This is the ingredients for the courgette cake. Last time I made it, it was a bit too moist, so I think I'm going to put a little bit less oil in. But I like making this cake because it uses olive oil, eggs and courgette, which are all from our land. I had to go and buy a new tin last time because my other one didn't fit in the air fryer, so this one just about fits. I'm sure there's a really clever way of lining a tin with greaseproof paper, and I can't remember what it is, like something about the specific way you cut the corners. Anyone else always forget to clean the air fryer. after cooking. Realised my mixing bowl was full of grapes and my cake storing bowl is now full of watermelon, so I'll have to figure something out. But let's go. In the UK we don't really use the cup system for measuring ingredients, but I've been starting to use it and I like it, it's much easier. It feels kind of ironic to be keeping brown sugar in a AG1 tin. So I'm just cooking that for 15 minutes first, and then the recipe says wrap it in foil and then you cook it for about an hour more. I think the foil stops it from browning too much on top. Last time I made this cake, I sent a photo of it to one of my best friends. You know those friends you've had since you were like 8 years old and they're basically siblings? And they're brutally honest with you, just like my sister is. And she was like, not gonna lie, that looks absolutely disgusting. And I think the combination of like olive oil and courgette in a cake can seem really off-putting, but for me it's like my favourite kind of flavour. It's like, it's really sweet and moist and yummy, but it has like an earthiness, you know, kind of like carrot cake. I know carrots have a bit more sweetness, so it feels like it makes more sense, but I love this cake, so it might look disgusting, but in my opinion it's delicious. So I need to clean up this kitchen now. Still have to boil the kettle for doing the washing up. Maybe this will be the year that we finally get hot running water in the kitchen. I feel like we need it with this one on the way, so that's pretty high up on the list once we can finally get back to making some progress around here. Well, that cake went down very well, especially with some fresh grape juice. Thank you as well last week for all your canning tips. I am struggling to find the jars though, and the only ones I found in the supermarket were €3.50 per jar, and that just seems like a crazy amount to spend on a jar, and the lids can only be reused once, so we're still pondering that. And we have got a lot of produce, so I think we might commit to buying a chest freezer instead. That just feels a bit simpler for us at the moment, so we might do that next week. Another thing I wanted to mention was last week we hit 70,000 subscribers, which is absolutely wild to me that we have that many of you, so thank you all so much for watching our videos. I've really enjoyed making this one. It's just, I hope you've enjoyed pottering around with me in the garden and in the kitchen, and it feels like this is what summer should really feel like, is lots of produce and preserving, and yeah, ours isn't normally like that. It's normally a bit of survival mode, and this one has especially felt like that, so yeah, it's been really nice to do that. And Iwan is starting to feel a lot better, so hopefully next week he'll be back, and we need to sort out the wine and all of that. I'm going to probably go and spend the evening pottering in the garden, and we'll see you in the next one. So thanks guys, take care, see you soon, bye.